Hello dear learners, welcome back. This is going to be a bit longer video because we have three topics to cover today. Vector subsetting, vector arithmetic, and object coercion. So let's get started with the first topic, a vector subsetting. Vector subsetting involves extracting specific elements from a vector. If we want to extract any element from a vector, we will have to use the name of a vector followed by the index position of the element which we want to extract. The index position is referred inside a square bracket. Also please note that the index position in R always starts at 1. So here is an example. A numeric vector called tempvec, we want to subset the third element from this vector. So going as per the notation, the name of the vector tempvec is followed by the square bracket, and inside the square bracket the index position is referred. There are different ways of subsetting a vector based on what you pass inside a square bracket. We just saw subsetting with a positive integer, but you can also subset with negative integer. If you subset with a negative integer, the elements at the specified positions will get dropped. So in this case, the element at third index position will get dropped and all other elements will get extracted. We can also use numeric vector inside square bracket to subset multiple elements, and we can also use logical values to subset a vector. In this case, the elements will get extracted where logical value is true. So let's get back to RStudio and extract the vectors. In the first case, we will extract a vector using positive integer. Here tempvec is created, which has first 10 numbers in it. The colon operator is used to create a sequence of numbers. So we will extract the vector element at the 5th index position. And if I execute this, then I should get 5 as an answer. That means it has extracted 5th element from temp vector. We can also extract multiple elements using the small vector. Here the small vector is called inside a square bracket of the original vector. Now in this case we are extracting the elements from the 2nd, 4th and 8th position. Let's create a character vector now. We will use negative integer in this case. So the element at specified position will get dropped. As you can see in the output, the second element, which is programming in this case, got dropped from the output. Using logical vector, all the elements where logical value is true will get extracted. So in this case, the first and second element gets extracted. You can also use conditional statements to extract the elements of a vector. Here we are using a condition which will extract all the vector elements which are greater than 5. So let me execute this. You can see all the vector elements which are greater than 5 are displayed. So actually at the back end, the logical vector is created to extract the element whenever you use the conditional operator. All the elements that are less than 5 in this case will get assigned to false, and all elements that are greater than 5 will get assigned to true, and those elements where logical value is true will get extracted. Let's now look at the vector arithmetic. Remember, vector arithmetic is carried out element wise. So here is an addition, here is a multiplication, here is a division. So this is the modulus operator. The modulus operator will calculate the remainder of the division. So when 1 gets divided by 2, the remainder is 1. However, when 2 gets divided by 2, the remainder is 0. The next topic we are going to discuss is about recycling. Again, this concept is related to vector arithmetic. Remember, R likes to operate on vectors of the same length. So all the arithmetic operation we have done so far have the vectors of same length. However, what happens if the vectors are of different length? So if R encounters two vectors of different lengths, it merely recycles the smaller vector until it is the same length as the longest vector. Then it does the operation. Okay, so let's take an example. Here is a vector A which has length equal to 10. Here is a vector B which has length equal to 6. I'm going to add these two vectors. When I add these two vectors, the R has given me this output. However, it is also showing me one message which says that the vectors are of not equal length. So let's look at closely how this addition is carried out. So here is graphics. Now for the first 6 elements it's straightforward, but from the 7th element, where the second vector, vector B, runs out of its elements, so it gets recycled to match the length of the first vector and the addition is completed. That's how the recycling takes place. The shorter vector, in this case vector B, matches its length with the longer vector, in this case vector A. Now let's go to the last topic of this video, the object coercion. The object coercion is when objects are converted from one data type into another. Have a look at this vector. This is the character vector. Even though the numbers are there, but they are written inside a double quotes. So R will treat these numbers as characters. And if we perform any operation on this character vector, any arithmetic operation on this character vector, R will throw the error. So in this case, we will have to convert the character vector into a numeric vector. So let's do that. There is a function called as.numeric. This function will convert a vector to a numeric vector. Now in this case, we are converting a character string vector, which is a character vector, into a numeric vector. And I'm going to create the new object. I'm going to store the result in a new object. So let me execute. Now if you see the class of this vector, you can see the class is numeric. And now I can able to perform this arithmetic operation. Similarly, you have this numeric vector. The numeric vector can also be converted into a character vector using as.character function. So here, using as.character function, I've converted the numeric vector into a character vector here. If you look at the class, then it's a character class. Similarly, you can convert the numeric vector into a logical vector using as.logical function. Here I'm using as.logical function. But one point to note here is that, but in this case, if you look at here carefully, you will notice that all non-zero elements are converted to true and all zero elements are converted to false. So this is how Boolean conversion takes place. All non-zero elements, they are converted to true. That means 1 and minus 5 in this case gets converted to true, and all zero elements are converted to false. Great, so we have come to the end of this video. In this video we covered a vector subsetting, vector arithmetic and object coercion. In the next video we will look at matrices. Matrix is a vector with 2 dimensions. So I will speak to you in the next video.